everyone, and welcome to another bins video. We are back at the Hampton bins here in Virginia. My bins prices are $1.59 per pound for clothing, $1.29 if you get over 20 pounds. I sadly today did not get 20 pounds. I actually, spoiler alert, didn't actually get that much stuff today. When I walked in the bins, which I normally get here around 11 o'clock in the morning, but I managed to get here at 9 today because I had places to be and stuff to do. There was actually only 16 bins of clothing, and normally there are at least 3 times that many. So when I walked in, I was like, maybe I should just not come. Maybe I should come back tomorrow. But I decided I was here. I'm going to stick it out, see what I can find. I did find some books, and I also found some clothing. This is the first piece of clothing that I found to put into my cart. This is a vintage piece, and it is actually made in Australia. It's a nice little 90s ribbed knit, and I've talked about on my channel before how much I love the 90s rib knit tops because they sell for me. They don't sell for you, I'm sorry, but they do sell consistently for me. I am a pretty avid vintage clothing seller, all ages, not all ages. Well, I do sell, all ages for vintage clothing, but all time periods. I just love vintage clothing. So I am going through here, and because of the fact that it didn't have very many clothing bins when I got here at 9, that the normal crowd of people that are here at 9 a.m. actually stayed all the way through until about noon, which is not typical. So it was very busy, and that is because for the first time ever, I actually saw them bring out new clothes bins. That has never happened before. I have never been here when they've done a clothing rotation. And they did that this day. So the people, all the vintage hounds were here, all the Depop girlies were here. It was very crowded. And it wasn't until a lot of them cleared out that I actually started going through the clothes, because I'm not fighting people for pre-owned clothing. That's just not something I want to do. This is a Banana Republic piece. I had hoped that this was Y2K. It is not. It's from 2010. You're going to watch me try to look at the year made. It does say 2010, but this was a silk linen blend. That's the only reason I'm going to put it over onto my cart and think about it, because you guys know how much I love linen, and it's linen and silk. But this is very much the 2010 styling, where it's got snaps, and the snaps were not attached very well, so I'd have to reattach most of the snaps because they're coming apart. And then also it's the slim fit that was super popular, where you got skinny jeans and everything was onto your body. Yeah, that was very much, late aughts, early teens, and that is not what's in style right now. So I just left that behind. This is kids. It's also Walmart, so I left that one behind despite it being cute. Now this mushroom shirt is Briscoe Brands, and that is not necessarily important to know. What is important to know is that I saw a lot of these, well, not a lot of these. I saw a handful of these listed in this particular style, and I saw a couple sold in the $10 to $20 range. So I went ahead and picked that up because it was in good shape. You know how rare it is to find something white at the bins and it not have stains or yellowing. And so I picked that up. I think it's cute. And then we'll see what happens with it. I think I can sell that because, I'm all about the mushrooms, and it seems to be mushrooms are still on trend. So I have no doubt that will sell. Also, it's a larger men's shirt, so that's great. But I'm just digging through the bins. Now, I am someone who likes to touch every piece of clothing in the bin. I make sure to dig down to the bottom because I have found a lot of small items that are very valuable. This broke my heart. This is a camel hair women's long duster coat, duster trench coat. But this thing had so many bare patches all over it in random spots, which is unfortunately something that happens with any kind of camel or angora or cashmere or wool, any kind of natural fabric. Those little moths get them noms on all over it. But I absolutely would have bought that, even, now that it's May and 80 degrees outside. I still would have bought that at the bins because come wintertime, that would sell. Now, this I put in my cart because I'd never heard of the brand before. This is a brand that seems to have clothing for sale that, for corporations. I just like the argyle on this, but it is too pilled for me to pick up. But if you find, I think it's Fusay or Fusa, I think was the brand name, but if it has Tesla branding on it, that's what makes it valuable. This was plain, so I just left that behind. Now, this is a Marvel tank top, and what I'm hoping to do is get the staining out of it. That's a little down feather. But there is some staining on it, and I'm hoping I can get that out because I want to wear it until it sells. I'm still working on it, so I'm not sure if that's just going to go into my closet or if I'm going to put it up for sale and then put it in my closet. So we'll see what happens. But I just liked it, and it was like a light diaphanous like tank top, and that's what I like to wear in the summer because I don't like being hot. I do have temperature regulation issues with my dysautonomia. So in the summer, I try to prevent that as much as possible by staying cool. So I'm going to go through and just pull everything out that I can find. That's a dress. There's a lot of, ooh, sorry guys, didn't mean to bop you there in the face. And even though that, you know, when I walked in, I didn't think it was going to be a good thrift day, it was still really nice to come back to the bins. I had taken a little break from coming to the bins the last couple weeks because I've been really trying to work on my death pile. I've had a lot of very lovely people in my life that I have found or have found me through this YouTube channel, and they have gifted me some free inventory, which is always a blessing. But I wanted to try to like get into that some before I came back here and added more to my death pile. This is a skirt. I still think maybe I should have picked this up based on style, but the brand was not there. I looked up the RN number for the brand, and it is like Ceylon Enterprises or something. I don't know. I feel like this is like would have been a boutique set where it had like a top and a bottom. But I almost picked that up from Style. I just thought that was funny. I found like that sock, and then I found the other sock randomly in here. It's just the like facial expression. So this is what I'm talking about when I say I go down to the bottom because I find small items that are still worth picking up. I can pinpoint a Liberty fabric so fast. Liberty is a fabric manufacturer that specializes in floral prints, and they are a UK company. And like they've done collaborations with J. Crew, they've done collaborations with like other high-end dress brands that I can't think of off the top of my head. But that's a handkerchief. And you're like, why in the world would you pick up a handkerchief at the bins? Well, I have sold an Amelia Pucci handkerchief for around $45, which was awesome. So this is Casual Corner. This is a 90s piece from Casual Corner. Unfortunately, it is stained, and unfortunately, I was not able to get the stains out. I tried really hard. It still has one little stain on the back. I am still going to try to sell it even though it has a stain on the back because it's like on the back, on the top, and the neck. You know, if you're a lady with long hair, no one will see it because your hair will be down or your ponytail will be covering it. No big deal. But I did lighten it, but it's still definitely there. But I will go ahead and try to sell it, and if it doesn't sell after a year, I will donate it. But like I said, knit tops, Y2K, that is very like late 90s Y2K era. So I'm hoping like the style will carry it. Here's the other dude. I just think it's funny. It's just like such a expression. It just made me laugh every time I looked at it. So there is that. This is a lot of Walmart today. Found a lot of Walmart. Now, I did realize as I was digging through this bin, and probably the reason why all the regulars kind of stayed is that they realized that part of the reason why there wasn't a whole lot of clothing is the fact that it's actually all fresh donations. So if you notice there aren't any little dangly bits, little colored dangly bits on any of these clothes, that's because every single one of these bins was a fresh donation. So do I wish I maybe had more time today to go through things? Yes, but considering how little I found in the 3 hours I was here, maybe not. So this is AUW. I just wanted to look it up because I thought the style of the dress was cute, and I also liked the belt. I actually was pulling it to try to pull the belt, but when I noticed it was attached to a dress, I was like, okay. So one thing I have noticed here at the bins is that most of the people, I thought about getting this for myself. It is sorry. Green is my favorite color, but I don't need another Nike t-shirt. I have plenty. I am, however, going to pick up this one, and this one will probably go into the boys' closet because it is his size, and Bell's is a beer company, so I'm going to ask him if he wants it. If he doesn't want it, then I'll resell it. Another reason why I like digging down to the bottom is that I've noticed that a lot of the regulars here don't do that. They like surface skim. They'll maybe get halfway down, but they don't actually dig to the bottom, so a lot of the best stuff I've found has been at the bottom. And also I've noticed that they don't take the time to turn things right side out. And I have actually found multiple vintage t-shirts at this bins because they're not bothering to, if it doesn't have like a crazy hit graphic fire, whatever, they're immediately hitting them in the face. They just throw it aside. They're just like, oh, it's a plain t-shirt. So I have actually found vintage t-shirts. That is underwear. Ooh. Don't worry, I do wash my hands as soon as I leave. I always wash my hands. Yep, I'm gonna straighten you guys out a little bit. And I not only do I wash my hands before I leave, I also then get into my car and then also do a double hand sanitizer. I have a sanitizing spray and I have a sanitizing, like the little gel stuff. And I also clean my phone. So don't worry, I am very much aware of the ick that can be at the bins, but I have not had an issue so far. Other than just feeling a little grody. This is an apron, but it is horribly bleach stained, which is why I decided to throw it to the side. I do pick up aprons when I'm here at the bins. I've bought and sold several vintage aprons before from the bins and modern aprons as well. So World Market aprons do sell well if you are interested or if you can find them for really cheap. This is new at tags, but it is Walmart, so I'm throwing that to the wayside. Now this, I love this. This is 100% a style pickup. It is a vintage piece. This is not necessarily a great brand because it's vintage, but this is from the 90s, and it's this beautiful, like, fall color floral. The silk, it's also silk. Paisley, I'm sorry, floral paisley. And it's like this little silk shawl thing that has these little sleeves. I don't know. I picked that up because of style. It's supposed to, like, tie in the front. I just thought that was adorable. So I picked that up because I have no doubt I can sell that, especially, you know, if I style it on Karen, which is my dress form if you are new here. So that's what I'm doing. This is No Boundaries. I thought it was cute, but when I realized it was Walmart, I threw that aside. Now, that's not to say you can't make money off of Walmart stuff. I have made money off of vintage Walmart, especially if you're doing like the chunky Y2K style. You can still, in 90s, like you can still make money off of that. It's a little touristy t-shirt, but this is what we're doing, and I don't really find too much else in this bin, so I'm going to actually throw you over to Other Bob, and she's going to show you what I was able to eke out of clothing bins today. Welcome to the haul, y'all. This one's going to be short and sweet just because of the fact that I did not really find anything. And again, I did have time constraints, and I just kind of had the bleh feeling when I got in there, and I should have just listened to myself. But that's okay. I'm going to show you what I got. And again, everything that I'm going to show you is going to be available up for sale up on Whatnot. You can join me or not. You do you. It's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific. If it doesn't sell there on Whatnot, it will go up on eBay because everything I pick up here is stuff that I would sell in my own store and will sell in my own store if you guys don't scoop it up first. And I do this because I know I have really cheap bins pricing, and so you guys can get something cheap for yourself and support me, and or get some cheap inventory for yourself to resell, because I know a lot of you are resellers. So $2 starts, by the way. I feel like most of you have been here before and know the drill. This is that Briscoe Brands t-shirt. It is a men's size large. Let's grow together in very 70s colors. The trippy hippie mushroom print there. A nice white t-shirt that is still white is amazing. Now this one I am going to offer up to the boys, so if you don't see it listed on Whatnot, it's because he said yes. This is Bell's. It's a brewery thing. I always pick up brewery stuff when I find it because it does sell for me. In fact, at Diversity, one of the Castleberg Brewery shirts snuck into my bag. Castleberg Brewery no longer exists, and despite the fact that it doesn't exist anymore, I still sell that shirt. So even when the brewery doesn't exist anymore, I can still sell that stuff. So that's why I picked this up, but I also picked it up for the boy in case he wants it because it is his size. And we are purveyors of the brewskis, him more so than me because I have a gluten intolerance, so I have to keep it to a minimum. But I did get him a kegerator last year for Christmas. That was his Christmas present. So there's that. Boop. Here is that Liberty fabric handkerchief. I know that might be weird to you, but I have sold vintage handkerchiefs. I've also sold, it says handmade in England. Beautiful little floral. Of course, handkerchief or, you know, pocket square. You could easily make this into a pocket square if you were so inclined to be that fancy. But there is that. Here is the casual corner piece I showed you. So I did get, there's the stain. Mostly out, but it is definitely still there. It is fainter, but it is definitely still there. So I still think if this doesn't sell and whatnot, that I can still sell it on eBay as long as I just disclose it, because it is faint and it is on the back and nobody's really going to be looking at that. Here's that other piece. This is vintage from the 90s. This is Eddie Bauer. It is this is a women's size medium. Nice little vintage knit top, rib knit top in a size medium. So this is technically my size, but I'm just gonna stick it on Karen and let her sell it. This is a choice. Okay, so I pick up denim jackets whenever I find them at the bins, regardless of the brand, because I want to gather them together and upcycle them. This is a men's size extra large, so it's gonna be too big for me, but it is a trucker style jacket. You see it's way too big for me. It's a men's size extra large. It's Forever 21. This one is factory distressed. I don't have hands. That's always just fun. As a tall woman, it's always fun when you have clothes on that you actually can do this with, because it almost never happens. But I picked this up because of style. It is a lightweight denim jacket. I'm sure I could sell that whenever it gets colder. Also, it is at the bins, so it's cheap. Super easy there. When it's also like a denim trucker jacket, like never goes out of style, so there is that. This is gorgeous. This does have some flaws. This is a vintage nylon scarf, but look at the colors. Look at them. This is a 60s flower power nylon scarf made in Japan. Absolutely gorgeous. Peak 60s here. Love that. I sell that stuff all the time. There's also a hat. LA Dodgers hat. This is 47 Twins is the maker. Does still have the little hologram sticker on it. This is the vintage t-shirt I said I found, because again, I've talked about before how I do find vintage t-shirts. Now this is like not a great t-shirt. It's just a vintage Hawaii shirt, but it is single stitched. It is a unisex large, and it does have embroidered hibiscus flowers on it. It's Hawaii. Hawaii. So I definitely picked that up. Someone could spice it up by like bleach tie-dyeing it if they wanted more. I don't pick up kids' clothes very often, but I saw this and I had to get it. This is a little Star Wars shirt. It is long sleeve. It is 18 to 24 months, but it's also new a tag, and it's the Gap. So I picked it up because it's adorable. So there's that. Ooh, here is a sock that needs to go back in the dryer because that is moist. Blech. The word moist doesn't bother me, like moist socks bothers me. This is that gorgeous like 90s piece I was telling you all about in the video. This is a women's size large. It is 100% silk. The brand is Units. Also, this lady smelled amazing. Just a really lovely perfume. But this is like peak 90s. I'm going to put it on for you so you can see. So, we have a nice little, it's a long sleeve, little diaphanous piece. Now it does hang down here in the front so you can just have it over. But like most of the time, it would get tied up like this You have your cute little bra on. Or it wouldn't be tied in a bow, but like you get it. It's supposed to be like tied up like this with like a pair of like high-waisted pants. So this is 100% a style pickup for me, and as someone who sells a lot of vintage, I 100% believe I can sell this. If it doesn't sell on whatnot, but it is silk. It is this beautiful paisley, floral paisley. So like I didn't pick out a whole bunch of stuff because honestly there wasn't a whole lot for me, and I didn't have enough time to like super dig through any more than just like one bin, because I had to meet my mommy for lunch, and that's more important. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was interesting. There will be a follow-up video with the books, so hopefully you're down for watching that, and if not, that's okay. But maybe I'll see you in the next video, and until then, bye! Bye.